Now suppose you are working on your system, right? And you deployed an application. For example, it can be an HTTP application, or it can be just general SSH access. Now you want to provide this access of your virtual machine to someone across the world, right? Now how to do so? There is a way you can do it using a service called ngrok. So ngrok is a very popular service. It is used with Kubernetes for ingress controllers as well. Now you can use ngrok to provide this access. Now Vagrant Share is a plugin which uses ngrok to provide this service. So with Vagrant Share, you are able to share your VM or virtual machine to anywhere in the world. It can be a specific port that you want to share, or it can be access to your virtual machine as well. It uses ngrok as a service, and there are three types of sharing that you can perform. First is HTTP sharing, which will create a URL that you can give it to anyone. It is helpful. Suppose you have web-based application that you are testing and you want to get it accessed by someone wherever in the world. You can use this service, HTTP sharing. Second is SSH sharing, which basically allows anyone to connect into your virtual machine using Vagrant Connect -SSH. And third is general sharing, which is basically any port, any TCP or UDP port that you can share across to the remote side. Now to make it work, you need to have ngrok installed. If your Vagrant Share is not working, I will also tell how you can use ngrok to have the same functionality. Now first and foremost, you need to download ngrok. There are three options that you can choose based on your operating system. You can select Mac OS, Windows, or Linux. The installation is straightforward, and I've downloaded ngrok, and if you download it, it will go to your downloads folder. And what I've done is basically I've copied ngrok exe into this directory, ngrok, and I've copied this ngrok.exe. Now what I want to do is basically update my environment variables and set the path so that it is accessible from anywhere in the command line. So you have to search environment, and you will open the system properties and go to environment variables, and in the path you have to set this ngrok, as well as here in the system variables would recommend you to set this path as well, ngrok. So once this is done, you can go back to your terminal and type the command ngrok-v. This will tell you whether your ngrok is accessible from anywhere in the command line. So I have this Vagrant file configuration here. Let me just zoom it for you. And if you see this, I'm basically running a Nginx web server. So what I will do is perform a Vagrant. I will go to this directory 16, which is share. For this Vagrant Share, you can download this repository and test it. And I can just do Vagrant up provision, because if it didn't provision this Nginx server, it will do so. So what we are going to do basically is, this is my configuration. This is my host system. This is my guest system. So this is my guest VM. And this is my host machine. This is working on port number 80 here. This one is port number 8080 here. So we'll have this ngrok agent here. So let's call it ngrok agent. ngrok agent. So this ngrok agent is running on my host machine. That's what ngrok has, the ngrok.exe. Now what will happen with this port forwarding? I've set a port forwarding from 8080 to 80. Now this ngrok agent would connect with the ngrok service to here with a specific endpoint, whatever xxx.ngrok free app dot whatever the endpoint is, and I can use it to forward it to anywhere across the world. So if you go back to our VS Code, it's just spinning up the virtual machine, and once this is done, I will pause this video, and once this is done, we'll check the details. So as you can check in the logs, it is forwarding port number 80 to 8080 and 22 to 4 times 2, which is where I can access the SSH. So it's booting up the virtual machine now, and then it will provision it. All right, so our virtual machine is up. You can check with Vagrant status, and as I've already shown, the port is being forwarded to 8080. Now if I go to my web browser and try to visit my localhost URL on port 8080, you can see this ngrok page is opening, which means that my virtual machine is working properly and it's serving traffic on port number 8080. Right now, what we can do is basically try Vagrant share, and with Vagrant share, we have to use HTTP as a protocol on port number 8080. That's what we have exposed. And I'm going to use debug, which is basically to see the messages. Now I couldn't get it working. There is a bug in Vagrant share, which gives an error in terms of setting up nginx. So to use double hyphen. So I will use Vagrant share double hyphen HTTP to initialize it. So it has some issues with here, file exist base config, which is what I'm getting again and again. I've tested it on both Windows and Linux. So rather than using Vagrant share, I can use ngrok, and I can have the same functionality with ngrok what Vagrant share does. So with ngrok, I will just do HTTP and I will use HTTP and port number 8080. So this will basically use the existing HTTP port, and then it will forward it. So as you can see, this is the forwarding URL. I can click on it and open it, and you can access this. So initially it will give you this warning, which is basically to avoid any phishing request. And once you click on visit site, you would be able to see the same page what you have exposed here on port number 8080. Now using this method, you can also expose port number 22, which is SSH, and provide connectivity to anyone else using Vagrant Connect. This is how you can use ngrok if your Vagrant share is not working to forward the port and share it anywhere across the world. Go ahead and try it out, and I will see you in the next lecture.